Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Quartet Lesson 10, Part 4, Grammar Stream. Tonight we're going to be covering ta, tokoro, and mono no, just two sections tonight. We've already covered most of Lesson 10, so this is just the last little leftover bits. Remember that this live stream is sponsored by all of the members of ToKiniAndy.com, the Patreon, and this YouTube channel. Thank you, everyone, for all of your support. It's because of you that we're able to do these lessons every single week without fail. So, these are the colors for our grammar streams. We have light blue for the new grammar points, and the other colors are for words that haven't shown up yet in Genki or Quartet, but that are on the JLPT or are very common, and we want to mark those so that you know that maybe you should learn those because they are important words. If you have any questions tonight that are not related to the section that we're on, just general Japanese questions or questions that you want Yuki and I to answer live on stream and not just someone in the chat, make sure you put question in caps before your question so you don't miss it. Usually during these streams, there aren't too many people because this is pretty high level stuff. So we usually don't miss everything, too many questions, but we do miss stuff sometimes. So keep that in mind. Question time answers. At the end of each section, we have a question and answer section. By that, I mean we ask you a question and you answer it. So with your answers, make sure you put Q time before your answer so that we know to read it live and correct it live on stream. Otherwise, we might miss it. So that's just to help us sort of manage the chat a little bit easier. This is a live stream, though, so let's go ahead and say hello to everyone in the chat and get Yuki over here. Hello. Oh, there she is. Okay. She got stuck. Coming to Japan Dan was the first person here. He says, definitely worth it. Check out www.tokiniandy.com for tons of unique Japanese learning resources. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate the message. You will not be disappointed, he says. Yay. Yes, he also said, smash the like button with your preference of large and heavy object. I agree, but be careful. All right. Saeed. Hello, Saeed. Hello, Dashiel. Konbanwa.
Konbanwa.
Saeed asked about immersion, and I mentioned that it's an absolutely necessary part of any language learning experience. You're going to need it, some kind of immersion, whether it's immersing in the culture and going to the country yourself or consuming lots and lots of content so that you can get used to the language. Tom Chan says, hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Tom. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. We also have the cat message retracted. Meow. All right. And Jane Riddle says, hello. Hi. How you doing?
Hi.
Malkov Maxim. Good to see ya. Minasan konbanwa. Konbanwa. And sunglasses from Tom.
みんなありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。来てくれて。はい。So, how you doing?
手がカサカサする。
手がカサカサする。乾燥してるこの部屋。
この部屋ちょっと乾燥して
It's
ます
a
よ。
little bit dry in this room. Oh, yeah, it's 40%.
さっ
It's a
き
little
ま
bit
で
dry.
38だった。
It rained all day, or rained a lot today, but
ね。
still not too damp in here. Anyway, yeah, it's been cold. Although I'm in a t-shirt because why not?
ね、この差が。
The difference, hoodie and a t-shirt. What are you gonna do? Spotlights are on me. Hello, I'm new here. Welcome, cat.
ミャオミャオ。
I almost said welcome new here, but Yuki's trying to have a conversation with you and all cat. Anyway, yeah, welcome. Always happy to have new faces here. Keep in mind, we are covering higher level content, but that's okay. It doesn't matter where you are in your Japanese learning language. We try to keep it simple enough to where people can follow along no matter where they're at. But there are limits to the to how beginner you can be and understand everything. All right. But yeah. So we do only have two sections tonight, but we generally spend quite a bit of time during the question time portion at the end of each section, just hanging out and talking to you guys. So when we get to that section, we can talk a little more. But why don't we go ahead and jump into it?
そっか。じゃあ私は消えるね。
はい。
ドロン。まあ消えないね。
あ、消えた。はい。All right. So our first section tonight is as a result of ing. But before I do that, I just realized I never sent a message in the Discord saying that we are live. Sorry, forgot to send that, everyone. And pop that off. Okay. Getting started for real now. Okay, so as a result of something ing is tatokoro. Tatokoro, and that ta is, of course, the negative short form past tense of a verb. So, as a result of doing whatever this verb is, some result occurs. Whatever is x comes before the tokoro. So x, verb, past tense, short past tense, tokoro. So as a result of doing that thing, y, some other thing happens. So that is the pattern for this. It's quite straightforward. It's somewhat of a written form, I'd say, but one important thing to point out is that the y, the part that comes after tokoro, is always going to be in the past tense. And it's generally not something that you do. It's something that's sort of out of your control. It's happened to you. That's one thing to keep in mind with what comes after tokoro. So for example, we have this example sentence. It's 久しぶりに散歩をしたところ、歩きすぎて足が痛くなった。So as a result of going for a walk for the first time in a long time, I walked too much and my legs hurt. So you may think here the 歩きすぎて, which is walked too much, is a volitional action. So why would it come here? Well, the main part of this second part is actually just 足が痛くなった. So I can't control whether or not my legs hurt. I mean, I guess I could if I didn't walk, but that part isn't volitional, and that's the main verb in the part that comes after tokoro. So this is okay. Your legs became hurt. But breaking it down, it's 久しぶりに. So for the first time in a long time, that's what 久しぶりに means. 散歩をしたところ. So that's as a result of going for a walk. For the first time in a long time. 歩きすぎて, I walked too much, and, because that's the te form, and 足が, so my legs, 痛くなった, they became hurt. Remember, we say some things become hurt in Japanese. We don't just say they hurt now. So my legs became hurt. So 足が痛くなった. As a result of going for a walk for the first time in a long time, I walked too much and my legs hurt. The next one is おすすめされたアニメを見てみたところ、大ファンになった. So as a result of watching an anime that was recommended to me, I became a huge fan. Right now, that one would be Dr. Stone. We're watching Dr. Stone right now, and I'm quite enjoying that one. But also, I'd say Daifan would be Jujutsu Kaisen. That was recommended to me, and I finally watched it recently. Became a Daifan. But anyway, おすすめされた. So された, of course, is it was done to you. So it's just suru, but the done to you part. So おすすめされた, so was recommended to me. Anime wo, so anime is its direct object of 見てみた. So I tried to watch the anime that was recommended to me, Tokoro. So as a result of watching the anime that was recommended to me, 大ファン. 大ファン is a huge fan. になった. I became a huge fan. And that's not a volitional. You didn't become a big fan. You just became a big fan as a result of watching the anime it was recommended to you. All right, this is question time preview. This is not the question time yet. You don't have to answer this question right now. We just like to give you a preview of the question that's coming at the end of this section, so you have a little bit more time to think about what you might like to answer while we're going through the remaining few example sentences. So the preview is 〇〇をしてみたところ、あなたの体の何が変わりましたか? So, as a result of doing what, your body changed in some way. So, for example, お酢を飲み続けたところ、血液がサラサラになりました. So, as a result of continuing to drink, お酢 is vinegar. 血液, so my blood, が, and that's the subject, サラサラになりました. サラサラ is smooth. So my blood became smooth as a result of me continuing to drink vinegar. Sorry. So your question time is going to be as a result of something that you did, volitional thing. What about your body changed? So we'll give you some more examples that you could possibly use when we get to that section. All right, our next example sentence is 鉄のサプリメントを飲み続けたところ、貧血が良くなった. So as a result of continuing to take iron supplements, my anemia became better. So 鉄のサプリメント. So サプリメント is just what you'd expect. It's supplements. 鉄 is iron. So iron supplements. Well, that's the direct object. 飲み続けたところ. So as a result of continuing to drink iron supplements. So when you take a supplement or a pill or something, in Japanese we say you drink it, even though it's usually a pill. In English, I think we'd just say you take it. You take the pill. But in Japanese, you drink it. And this is continuing to drink iron supplements. 貧血 is anemia, and it's a very common word. It just means a low red blood cell count. が良くなった. It became better. Our next sentence is アレルギーテストを受けたところ、グルーテンにアレルギーがあることが分かった。So as a result of taking an allergy test, I found out that I have an allergy to gluten. Thank goodness that's not true. So アレルギーテスト。So that's an allergy test. を that's a direct object of 受けたところ。So I took a test. You can use 受ける for not just allergy tests, but regular tests too, like the JLPT or any kind of test at school. When you take a test, it's 受ける. We use 受ける. So 受けたところ. So as a result of taking an allergy test, what did I find out? グルーテンに so in the direction of gluten, アレルギーがある. So I have an allergy in the direction of gluten. That's how we say we have an allergy to something. We use the ni particle and to mark the thing that we're allergic to. ことが分かった. So I realized the fact, or I understood the fact that I have an allergy to gluten. All right, this is a very long sentence, but this is sort of a common situation that Quartet mentions that the たところgrammar point is used in, and that's for things like surveys, and in written language, when you're reporting the results of the survey, you say what the survey was about, たところ, and then the result of that survey. So that's a very common way of using this たところ. So we have one example sentence like that. So let's check it out. We have 日本に住んでいる外国人に日本に来てから驚いたことは何ですかと質問したところ、1万人がファックスをまだ使っていることと答えた。So as a result of asking foreigners living in Japan the question, what surprised you after coming to Japan? 10,000 people answered the fact that they are still using fax machines. So let's break this one down. We have 日本に, so in the direction of Japan, 住んでいる外国人, so foreigners who are living in Japan, に日本に来てから. So this is the question in quotes here. So in the direction of those foreigners living in Japan, they ask this question. 日本に来てから, so since coming to Japan, 日本に来てから。驚いたこと, so a thing that surprised you. 驚いたことは, that's the topic, 何ですか? What is something that surprised you since coming to Japan? と質問したところ. So as a result of asking this question, 1万人, so 10,000 people が, they're the subject, this is their answer. Fax, and fax is written in English in all caps. That's how it's written in Japanese. It's written using English letters. をまだ, so still, 使っていること, so still using, the fact that they're still using fax, と答えた, they responded. So as a result of asking foreigners living in Japan the question, what surprised you after coming to Japan? 10,000 people answered the fact that they're still using fax machines. Surprises all of us. All right, that brings us to our dialogue. So we're going to get Yuki over here. This is the final section of the story that was supposed to finish in 2 lessons, but has spanned across 6 long lessons. I will be trying to get up this entire story in just a single section on the website for those of you who are members over there so that you can read it yourself to sort of find out what happened throughout the whole story on your own. So let's go ahead and jump into it.
はい。急にスマホが鳴った。後輩からだった。大変ですよ、先輩。聞きましたか？何を？会社が燃えてしまいましたよ。そして今朝のニュースで見ましたが、社長が脱税で捕まって会社が潰れてしまうそうですよ。どうしよう。と心配そうに後輩が連絡してきた。慌てて会社に電話して聞いてみたところ、後輩のニュースは本当だと分かった。小さい笑みがこみ上げてきた。会社が倒産したということは、俺はまた一からスタートできる。
Alright, let's break it down.
急にスマホが鳴った。後輩からだった。大変ですよ、先輩。聞きましたか？何を？
Alright, so breaking it down, we have suddenly my phone rang. It was from my junior. It's terrible. Did you hear, senior? Huh? Hear what? So breaking it down, it's 急に, so suddenly. スマホが鳴った. So smartphones ring, they 鳴った, right? We use it looks like a little bird kanji, but it's also got a voice next to it, and that's to make a sound. So スマホが鳴った. So my smartphone rang. 後輩からだった So it was from my junior, as in someone below me in my company. So it was from someone below me in my company, or it could be in a school or something, but we know this is the company from earlier in the story. 大変ですよ It's terrible 大変ですよ先輩 So that's senior, the person above me. That's how people refer to their seniors and juniors sometimes within companies. 聞きましたか Did you hear? Huh? 何を Hear what?
会社が燃えてしまいましたよ。そして今朝のニュースで見ましたが、社長が脱税で捕まって会社が潰れてしまうそうですよ。どうしようと心配そうに後輩が連絡してきた。
The company burned down, man. And then I watched the news this morning and it appears that the company president was arrested for tax evasion and the company will go out of business. What are we going to do? My worried sounding junior reported. So breaking this one down, it's entirely a quote until the very end. It's 会社が, so that's the company, it's the subject, 燃えてしまいました. So it completely burned down. 燃えてしまいましたよ。そして, and then, 今朝のニュースで, so on the news this morning, 見ましたが, I saw, but 社長 is the company president, が, and he's the subject, 脱税で捕まって, so 脱税 is tax evasion. So via tax evasion, he was caught. 捕まってね。And 会社が, so the company, it's the subject, 潰れてしまうそう。So it appears that, that's そうです。The company is going to go bankrupt or go out of business. 潰れてしまうそうですよ。So that ですよ is a, added new information for the listener. どうしよう What are we going to do? と、心配そうに. So the と is the quotation と, and he said it sounding worried. 心配そうに後輩, the 後輩 is the person that's talking, が連絡してきた. He reported to me this stuff sounding concerned or worried.
慌てて会社に電話して聞いてみたところ、後輩のニュースは本当だと分かった。小さい笑みがこみ上げてきた。会社が倒産したということは、俺はまた一からスタートできる。
When I rushed to call the company and ask, I found that the news from my junior was true. A small smile overcame me. The fact that my company went bankrupt means I can start from one again. This guy had a rough couple months, man. So anyway, breaking it down, it's 慌てて means to rush. 慌てて会社に in the direction of my company. 電話して I called them and 聞いてみた. So I asked, or as a result of asking when I called the company, 後輩のニュース, so the news from my junior, は that's the topic, but mostly emphasizing this part. 本当だと分かった. I understood that it was the truth. 小さい笑み, so small smile, がこみ上げてきた. It came over me. So a small smile came over me. 会社が倒産した. So 倒産する is one word that means to go bankrupt. So 会社が倒産したということは So the fact that my company went bankrupt means 俺は So as for me また一から So again from one スタートできる I can start. So I can start again from one. So let's see what happens in the next section. Yuki pointed out when she was checking my story that I seem to burn things down a lot in my stories. I don't know if I just have a hard time ending them and I don't know what to do, but this is not the first time I've burned down a building in one of my stories. And I did not realize that until she read it. She said, "You burned down another building." Oh my God. Anyway, question time for this section is
〇〇をしてみたをしたところ、あなたの体の何が変わりましたか?
So, as a result of doing or trying to do something, so trying to do something would be してみたところ and something you just did. You did it. したみたところ. So, depending on, that's the nuance there.
したところね。
したところ would be the nuance of you just did it. あなたの体の何かが変わりました. So, what changed in your body as a result of doing something? For example,
お酢を飲み続けたところ、血液がサラサラになりました。
So as a result of continuing to drink vinegar, 血液が, so my blood がサラサラになりました. My blood became smoother.
プロテインを多く食べてみたところ、筋肉痛が早く治った。
So here we had 続けた. I just did it. I continued to drink iron. Here is 食べてみた. So I tried to eat more protein or a lot of protein. So プロテインを protein is the direct object of 多く食べてみたところ. So as a result of eating more, or trying to eat more protein, 筋肉痛 is, I guess it's DOMS. I actually had to look that up recently because I only knew the Japanese for this. But it's a delayed onset DOMS. Delayed onset muscle soreness. Delayed onset muscle soreness. Yeah, that's it. 筋肉痛が早く治った。So it healed quickly.
マストペインじゃないんですかね。
So it's delayed onset muscle soreness, apparently. Anyway, so what about you guys? What is something that you tried to do? And then as a result of that, what changed about your body in some way? Did you heal faster, or you lost weight, or you grew taller, or your hair grew longer? Who knows? Anything is possible. Well, let's see what we missed. It looks like Genkilla was here for a while. Hello. I'm a bad student and tried to catch up, but you are way ahead of me now. Hope you're all doing well. Good to see you, Genkilla. I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, good to see you. It's been a long time.
ね、本当だよ。でもお忙しいみたいですよ。
そうだね. Way too busy lately with real life. Fair enough. But better to be busy than do nothing. I suppose. I don't know. Doing nothing is nice too.
体に気をつけてください。
気をつけてください. Yes, please be careful. I feel so bad that I even forgot some of the alphabet in hiragana and katakana. Oh no! You gotta start all over, man. It is what it is. Maybe worth mentioning the Japanese uses ... as quotation marks. Yes. Good point. Those are the quotation marks for Japanese. At this point, I feel like most people, if they're actually at this point in Quartet, they better know that, I feel like. But some people who aren't up to that point yet probably don't. Player XZ, how's it going?
Hey.
Thanks for stopping by.
Hey.
So, 俺はね、
はい。
なんだろう。今なんだ？
わかんない。なんか。
ちょっと、hold on one second.
うちじゃないんじゃない？なんか外で何かが起きました。
でも風が強いですね。
多分わかんない。なんか落ちた音がした。
ね。
なんか落ちてたんじゃない？
Something fell down. Anyway.
あれかな？
あれ？
さ、フェンス壊れたじゃん。
どこの？
そこのさ、ベランダのフェンス壊れたじゃん。
それ？ありえる。
そのさ、スティックが落ちてっちゃったんじゃない？
ありえる。How's it going, Felipe? Good to see you. You just missed the first section, no worries. Malkov Maxim has our first cue time.
はい、みんなありがとうございます。ようこそ。はい、時々運動をし
続けたところ。
そうだね。でも時々しかやってないよ。
そうだね。
時々運動をしてみたんじゃないかな。
そうだね。
してみ続けたところかな。
続けるはないかな。時々運動してみたところ、もっと嬉しくなったかな。トムちゃん、ありがとう。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you. Coffee is always helpful.
もうありがとうございます。
I wish I could drink some coffee right now, but I'll just take yours like this. Hey, thank you.
ありがとう。
All right. Thank you so much, Tom. Okay, so Malkov Maxim. So the 続けるところ is
続けたところね。
続けたところ right, is you continued to do something. So as a result of continuing to do something, you had a result. But you had tokidoki at the beginning of your sentence. So if tokidoki, you've exercised only sometimes or once in a while is what that tokidoki would imply. It doesn't quite make sense to use 続けた. So if you want to say that at one point in time, when you continued to exercise, you felt better, you wouldn't want to use tokidoki there. You could change that to something else, and then 続けた would work, but it would also need to be し続けた. し続けた. Use the mas stem and connect 続けた there. So for example, 運動し続けたところ、もっと嬉しくなった. So for e adjectives なる to become that e adjective, you change the e to く. So 嬉しくなった. So you could drop the tokidoki and use し続けた. Or if you just want to say when you exercise sometimes you felt better, then you could keep the tokidoki but get rid of the 続けた. So you would say 時々運動をしたところ、もっと嬉しくなった. would be fine. So either drop the tokidoki or drop the tsuzuketa, one or the other. And you'll be fine there.
が時々の場合はしてみたところでも OK。
When I tried to exercise a few times would work, yeah. 時々運動してみたところ. When I tried to exercise a few once in a while, sometimes I felt better as a result. And that would work too.
なんか
The illegal
グ
cinder
ッド
brick
ポ
walls.
イントだよね、それ。
Are they illegal? We do have cinder block walls. They've been around for probably a century here, but it's not the walls. It was we have like a veranda, sort of. It's a little thing right outside the door there, and it's very, very old, and it's starting to rot away. And one of the posts just fell off a couple days ago, so we think that might have been just blown off the roof.
やばい
That's what she figured
ね。
out.
大丈夫かな
How's it going, Mickey M? Good to see you.
はい。
And thanks again, Tom.
ね
Appreciate that.
ボロボロのお家に住んでるって思われちゃう。
まあボロボロだよ。ボロボロなうちですよ。I'm only studying for N4 at the moment, but thought I'd sit in here to see if I could learn a bit extra. Yeah, man, if you're studying for N4, there's a few things here that, well, I mean, they're not going to be on N4, but some of the words might be. The grammar might not be, but we try to use fairly simple language within the new grammar point. So like when we're teaching a new grammar point, we will use more advanced words sometimes, but we always mark them and explain them. And we try to use as simple of language as we can to get the points across. So a lot of people hanging out here are probably still on Genki 1 or even Genki 2. So hopefully it'll help. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. I think they're not really illegal, but are being required to take down as much as possible. Really? I didn't know that. It may happen to us one day, which will be a bummer because it is nice to have. Cue time from David.
はい、ありがとう。医者のテストを受けたところ、ビタミン 12?12 かな。ビタミン12のサプリメントを毎朝飲んでいます。
はい。
をの方が
ちょっと待って。多分違う。それが言えないって気がする。It has to be past tense, whatever comes after the second one. And it can't be a volitional.
まあね、飲み受けたところ、ビタミン12のサプリメントを毎朝飲むことになりましただよね。か、飲むように言われましたとか、
とか
サプリメントを、毎朝飲んでいま
バイタミン12が足りてないとか、足りてなかったとか。
確かに足りてない。そう、何かがなりました。
So you could have a nari, not that. You generally aren't going to have a volitional action in the second part after tokoro. It's got to be something that just happened as a result of you doing the other thing, or the other thing, you doing the other thing generally. So the first part is fine pretty much. 医者のテスト。医者のテスト、I think you want to say 検査を受けたところ。検査 is a blood test or something. 血液検査, for example, if you took a blood test, that would be the literal there. So 血液検査を受けたところ。
でも血液じゃないんじゃない？まあなんかの検査なんだよね。
Usually it's a blood test to find out if you have vitamins missing or something.
そうなの？
じゃない？それ以外はどうやってわかる？
わかんない。
まあ検査 that only would be fine or 血液検査。Anyway, so that you would probably just change 医者の test to that. So 血液検査 or 検査 depending on the type of test. 受けたところ up to there is fine. で、ビタミン12 there was違う。ビタミン B12 OK ビタミン B12 が足りてなかった for example is something you could say. I found out that I didn't have enough vitamin B. Then you could actually connect that to another sentence.
そうが
足りてないから足りてなかった。
そうだね。
から何かした。So I'm drinking vitamin B.
毎朝飲んでいます。
Then it would be fine. But the actual the what's the name of that? The predicate that's attached to ところ in the second part needs to be a past tense, non-volitional action thing,
そうだね。
not something you did yourself.
そうだ。
So I found out that this was the case, or I didn't have enough B2 or something like that. Not I did this thing. So I found that out. So I did this thing would be fine. So you connect it with kara. ね。
そうだね。
うん
そうだ。ごめんね。
Yeah, 大丈夫。You came up with a couple more complicated ways you could make what you said there worked, but generally speaking, I think it would make a little bit easier just to say you found out that you didn't have enough B12, and then in a separate sentence or connecting it with kara or something, add that now you're drinking a B12 supplement every day. Okay?
はい。
はい。
まあその説明でいくと、医者の検査を受けたところ、ビタミン B12 が足りてなかったから毎朝サプリメントを飲んでいます。か、サプリメントを毎朝飲んでいます。
Perfect. Yeah, that's what you'd go with there. Okay.
はい。
Benjamin, how's it going?
ありがとうございます。
Benjamin has a cue time for us.
はい。ライトを
ノベルかな？
食べてるよ。
エンインジ。食べたところ。なんだろう。ライトエンイージー。
ライト。
light and easy. Light and easy. Okay.
それ何？アメリカのもの？
Light and easy ってなんだろう。Light and easy. Light and easy is a type of meal pack.
ミールパック？
Light and easy is a company that makes this kind of food. Okay. なるほど。
どういうものなの？
なんかダイエット系な食べ物を作って送ってくれると思う。
なるほどね。
そういうところ。
はい。ライト
N
イージーを食べたところ5キロのが減りました。
痩せました。
そう5キロ減りました。
So you don't need the ga there. You can drop the ga.
脳がとか言って。
脳が。
5キロ減りました。1200カロリーのダイエットでした。
大変じゃねえか。
それ1日1200カロリー、1200キロカロリーか。カロリーは
と軽カロリーは同じアメリカだと。Wow! That's a very small amount of food. 大変ですね。
それ、苦しくない？それ。
How'd that go? But anyway, sounds like you lost 5 kilograms, so that's always good too. All right, so yeah, the only thing you have to do with that sentence is drop the ga, and you're good to go. 1200カロリー、俺は耐えられね
え。私も耐えられません。
したことがあるけど、ほぼ断食じゃん。
苦しくない？私ね、苦しいんだよね。嫌なの、そういうの。今ね、もう苦しいんでジムに行ってる理由はたくさん食べたいからっていうね、理由だからね。
まあ俺は運動好きだから行ってるけど。
もう死にそうになりながら走ってるのもたくさん食べたいからです。
そうだよね。
だから1200カロリーじゃね、多分私は無理だ。
運動しなくていいんだね。それぐらい食べると。でも運動なんてできないよね。
600カロリーのもの2回しか食べられないってことだよね、それじゃ。
でも多分300カロリーのもの4回とかでもあり得る。453回とか。300、300、600とかかも。
300って。
できなくはないよ。肉とかチキンとか砂糖とか入ってないでしょ。はい。Alright. So I think we can go ahead and move on to the next section. That's probably all the cue times we'll get for this section, I imagine.
そう？
多分。
アンディは？
俺は、魚肉をやめたところ、肉を減らしたところ、血液検査が良くなった。
あ確かにね、
はい。
血液が良くなったんで、検
血
査
液
が
いい結果が出た。
うんうん
そう、血液が良くなった。はい。
そうだね、確かに。
そう。それかな。はい。
なるほど。私は昆布を食べたところ髪の毛が黒くなりました。
あ、そう。
え
あ、そう。Yuki
なんで
said when she ate kombu, kombu is, what is that, seaweed?
うん。
When she eats seaweed, her hair turned black, apparently. あ、そう。
え、
そうなんですか。
そうなんですよ。
それを食べないようにします。
いやいや。で、シーウィード食べるとね、髪の毛黒くなるって、嘘
そうなの？
嘘なのそれって。
Someone should search that and let us know in chat if that's true. Yuki said apparently it's believed that
うん、
when you eat seaweed, your hair turns blacker.
うんうんうんうん。なんかシルバーヘアも黒くなる。
それは絶対嘘だろ。Somebody look that up. I want to know if that's actually real. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and jump onto the next section, which is Aldo.
みんな知らないんだ。
知らないと思う。ああ、すいた。はい。あ、いつもお腹がすいた。確かにそうだね。それはそうだよね。
絶対お腹すくよ。食べちゃいなよ。
絶対お腹すく。
ポテトチップス食べちゃ
いやいやいや、悪人がいたね。はい、okay. It's getting loose. Let's go ahead and move on to our next section, which is although with monono, monono. All right, so to use monono, it's pretty straightforward. You just attach it to a short form of a verb, any short form. An e adjective on its own, monono. Nodjectives take na or de aru before monono, and nouns take de aru before after them and before mono. No. So monono is very similar to keredo or kedo and ga. The but or although. It's very, very similar, except for a few small differences. And that is what comes after monono is generally always a fact. And it's not always negative, but it often expresses that the speaker or the writer feels some regret about that thing. Not all the time, but often. The most important part, though, is that it's a fact that is sort of unexpected considering what comes before monono. So if you're just you're talking about like a chain of events, which you can use kedo and ga for, you can put them in between the two different events without a problem with ga and kedo. But you cannot do that with monono. So that's a big difference between those. Also, monono is much more of a written literary form than kedo and ga. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So our first one is a verb. We have 日本人に生まれたものの日本語を理解することは難しい. So although I was born Japanese, it is difficult to understand Japanese. So this is probably meaning in like a more like the whys of Japanese, not necessarily understanding when people are speaking to you. So anyway, 日本人に, so in the direction of a Japanese person, 生まれたものの, so although I was born Japanese, 日本語 is the direct object of 理解すること. So the thing which is understanding Japanese は, emphasizing what comes next here is what this wa is doing, 難しい. It's difficult to understand Japanese. Our next one is その川はとてもきれいなものの水は信じられないくらい冷たいです. So we have a negative verb here. It's 信じられない. I'm sorry. No, it's not. It's きれい. It's a na adjective before mono. So we need na or de aru before the monono, but we've gone with na here. So その川, that river, wa. It's a direct, that's the marking it as the topic and emphasizing this. とてもきれいなものの. So it's very beautiful, but, or although this river is very beautiful. 水は, the water is 信じられないくらい. So to the extent that you wouldn't believe it, 冷たいです. It's super cold. It's so cold. So, right? It's not just a chain of events. This is sort of, even though it's really pretty, you should probably be careful. You don't want to go in there because it's super cold. You might not expect that, but it's super cold. All right, question time preview. You don't have to answer this just yet. This is just to give you an idea of what's coming up so that you can sort of formulate a question for yourself by the time we get to the actual question time. So, the question for this section is going to be, あなたの使っている道具や物、乗り物、建物などは adjectives いいかなものの良くない部分は何ですか? So you're going to make a sentence with a thing or a tool or a thing that you use, and then you're going to have an e adjective or an adjective, ものの. So although this thing that I use is, for example, tall or heavy or light, ものの, although that 良くない部分は何ですか? What is something bad about it? So for example, 新幹線は早いもののチケットの料金が高い. So even though or although the Shinkansen is fast, so the Shinkansen is something that I use often, not often, something I use sometimes. It doesn't have to be something you use often, just something you use. チケットの料金が高い. So the price of the tickets is very high. So even though it's fast, the price is very high. So you want to give a good thing about it or just a thing that you use, even though this or although it's fast, despite that, it's very expensive. All right, so our next one is Elden Ring はすごく難しそうであるものの今一番人気のゲームです. So although Elden Ring appears to be super difficult, it is the most popular game right now. So this is another non-adjective sort of. We've taken 難しい, which is an e adjective, and it says seems to be. We've given it the seems to be so attached to it, which is dropped the e and had so. So that sort of turns it into a non-adjective. We treat so itself as a non-adjective. So you could use na or de aru here. We've gone with de aru for the sentence. So Elden Ring は, that's the topic. すごく難しそうであるものの. So although Elden Ring appears to be very difficult, 今, right now, 一番人気のゲームです. It is the most popular game right now. Although that might be Lost Ark, I'm not sure. But it's Elden Ring for a couple weeks there was the most popular game for sure. Our next one is 梅干しはとても酸っぱいもののなぜか食べたくなる味です. So although pickled plums are very sour, for some reason they're a flavor you want to eat. So umeboshi is pickled plums. Little red pickled plums wa totemo suppai mono no. So although pickled plums are very sour. Sour is an N2 word, suppai. And it's an e adjective, so you don't need anything between it and mono no. Nazeka, for some reason. 食べたくなる, become want to eat, 味です. They have a flavor that you become want to eat. All right, which is maybe not expected considering how sour they are. All right, our next one is a noun. We have 最近は日差しが暖かくなって春を感じられる天気であるものの桜はまだ咲きません. So although recently the sunshine is warm and the weather feels like spring, the cherry blossoms still don't bloom. And they have not bloomed here yet in Nagano. They look like they have no intentions of blooming anytime soon. Although it's around now when they're supposed to start. But it looks like we've got a couple weeks ahead of us before that's going to happen. Anyway, saikin is recently. That's the topic and emphasizing what comes next. Hizashi ga. So hizashi is sunshine or sun rays. Ga, or yeah, the feeling of the sun. Hizashi, let's see if there's another word for that. I think I just went with sunshine, but hizashi, let me make sure there's nothing else for that. Yeah, sunlight or rays of the sun. Ga, that's a subject. Atakakute, atatakakute. You could do it either way. Atakakute with the little tsu between the a and the second ta, or you can just say it out, the whole thing. Atatakakute, atatakakute, or attakakute. Either way is fine. Atatakakute, haru. It's warm and haru, so spring. Wo kanjirareru, it feels like, or you can feel it's like spring. Tenki, so the weather. This is talking about the weather. So the weather is such that it feels like spring. Dearu mono no. So although recently the sunlight is warm and the weather feels like spring, sakura is cherry blossoms. That's the topic. Mada, still. Sakimasen, they still don't bloom. And that brings us to our story. So let's get Yuki back over here. Come to Panda and says the sakura are in full bloom. いいな. Already fallen off. まあでもそうだよね。あんなに南の方だと。はい、お願いします。
3ヶ月後、会社が倒産したのは俺のせいなんかじゃなかったから、もちろん失業保険をもらえた。そしてゆっくり新しい仕事を探すことができて、3つの会社から内定をもらった。その中の興味があったグラフィックデザイナーの仕事に就いた。給料も月42万円になった。新しい仕事はすごく楽しい仕事で、毎日精一杯頑張っている。素敵な彼女もできて、来年結婚しようかな、とも考えているところだ。あれからも茜神社によく通っているものの、いつもの大きい立派な赤い鳥居しか立っていない。おしまい。
We finished it! Oh my god, I can't believe it. It's been so long. All right, let's break it down.
はい、3ヶ月後、会社が、これ、あれだ、間違えちゃってるね。会社が倒産したのが、
なぜか破産になった。That's fine. Anyway, this should be 倒産。
会社が倒産したのは俺のせいなんかじゃなかったから、もちろん失業保険をもらえた。そしてゆっくり新しい仕事を探すことができて、3つの会社から内定をもらった。その中の興味があったグラフィックデザイナーの仕事に就いた。
3 months later, it wasn't my fault that the company went bankrupt, so of course I received unemployment insurance money. And then I was able to leisurely search for work, and I received official offers from 3 companies. I took the graphic design work that I was interested in among those. So breaking this one down, it's 3ヶ月後, so 3 months later. 会社が, so the company is the subject. 倒産した, so don't ignore that. 倒産した, so no は, so the thing which was my company going bankrupt. 俺のせいなんか, 俺のせい is my fault. なんか, and this なんか is sort of, it's saying something like, or it's really just emphasizing that this is absurd, that it would be my fault. 俺のせいなんかじゃなかったから. So it wasn't my fault, of course. That なんか is the this part. My fault. That feeling, right? Of course. から、もちろん, of course. 失業保険. 失業保険 is unemployment insurance, and he's implying the money. をもらえた. I received the money from 失業保険. はい、sorry. そして, and then, ゆっくり, slowly or comfortably, or relaxed. 新しい仕事, so new work, を探すことができて, so I was able to search for work relaxedly or slowly, and 3つの会社から, so from 3 companies, 内定をもらった. 内定 is an offer, an official offer from a company for work. をもらった。その中の, so among those, 興味があった, so I had interest in, グラフィックデザイナー, so graphic designer の仕事に就いた. So I took the graphic designer work that I was interested in from among those.
給料も月42万円になった。新しい仕事はすごく楽しい仕事で、毎日精一杯頑張っている。素敵な彼女もできて、来年結婚しようかな、とも考えているところだ。
The salary also became 420,000 yen per month. As for this new work, it's super enjoyable work, and I'm doing my best to work hard every day. It's a lot of works. I even got an amazing girlfriend, and I'm also at the point where I'm thinking, I wonder if I should get married next year. That's where the point he's at. So breaking it down, it's 給料も, so my salary also, 月, so every month, 42万円になった. It became 420,000 yen. Remember before it kept going down because he kept being late for work. He was down to 160,000 yen per month, which is it's probably pretty difficult to live on your own in an apartment in any city in Japan on a salary like that. It's difficult, not impossible, but difficult. But now he's up to 420,000 yen. Congratulations. 新しい仕事. So the new work は, that's the topic emphasizing this part. すごく楽しい仕事で, it's super fun work, and 毎日 every day 精一杯 doing my best 頑張っている so I'm doing my best to work hard every day 素敵な彼女 so an amazing girlfriend もできて so I also got an amazing girlfriend and 来年 next year 結婚しようかな I wonder if I'll get married next year maybe I'll go ahead and get married next year is what he's saying there とも also 考えているところだ. So this is a different ところだ from the first section. This is the I'm at this point in my life, or I'm at this point in time. So とも考えているところだ.
あれからもあの茜神社によく通っているものの、いつもの大きい立派な赤い鳥居しか立っていない。おしまい。
From then too, although I often visited that Akane shrine, there was never anything but that big, beautiful red gate standing there. The end. Breaking it down. あれからも. So from then too, so he's talking about the events from the other 5 parts of the story. Excuse me. あのAkane神社に, so in the direction of that Akane Jinja, よく通っているものの, so although I am often visiting that Akane shrine, いつも, all the time, いつもの大きい立派な赤い鳥居. So which direction should we go? Which direction should we go? The red, beautiful, big gate that is always there. いつもが立っている。立っていない。しか立っていない。Sorry. しか立っていない。There's nothing but the big, beautiful red gate that is always there. Whew, sorry about that. おしまい is the end. All right, so we finished the story in 6 lessons. That was fun. I'll put that all together in a couple days on the website in the immersion section, and you'll have some nice reading material for N2 level.
ね
Well, I don't know if it's nice. That's up to you guys. I can't determine that, but I enjoyed making it, and I obviously with Yuki's help because I couldn't get all of it right. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into question time.
あなたの使っている道具や物、乗り物、建物などは adjectives い or なものの良くない部分は何ですか?
So among the things, something you use or a tool you have or, cars you're using or a type of transportation, doesn't matter. Building you go to a lot. You're going to describe it a little bit. So you're going to give us an e-adjective or an adjective that describes it a little bit and say, although that, 良くない部分は何ですか? What is something that's bad about it? So although this thing I often use is this, there's also this not so good thing, is what you're going to tell us about. So for example,
新幹線は早いもののチケットの料金が高い。
so although the Shinkansen is fast, 早い, the ticket price, チケットの料金が高い is expensive. Next one is?
コンビニは便利なものの働く環境は良くないそうです。
So although convenience stores are very convenient, the environment, the work environment is apparently not good. So コンビニは, so as for convenience stores, 便利なもの, they are convenient. Although they are convenient, 働く環境, so the work environment. は, that's the topic emphasizing this. 良くないそうです. Apparently, or I hear that. I guess this one is I hear that it's not good. So how about you?
ねえ。働く環境も便利だったらいいのに。
それは最高ですよね。まあロボットとかになったらいいかな。
確かに。
いや、いずれそうなるんだろう。今のところはみんな自分で会計もするんだよね。
そう。紙で最後書いてると思う。その帳簿になんか。
あ、そう。
紙とペンで何か書くことがあると思う。
あ、そうなの？私たちが自分でなんかパソコンで全部支払ってるのに最近。
チェッキングの話？それは最後のキャッシャーの話だよね。
全然。私たちが支払ってるところに、物買うとき。
うん。お金入れるマシーン。
そうそうそう。私たち自分でやってるじゃん。働いてる人たちは別に何もしなくてよくなったじゃん。
ピーするだけ。
そうだね。それはやんなきゃ。でもある場所は自分でできるし。
まあね。
いずれそうなるんだよね。
そう、でもね、なんかね、P も自分でね、P はするんだね。P。
まあスーパーは違うけど、P はね、scanning you do by yourself。
P と言います。この P でバーコード
When you
する。
scan a barcode, yeah, you just say P. So the convenience store staff now, they just scan it, but then there's a machine now that you choose your way of payment, and you either pay with like a card or you pay with cash, whatever. You do it all yourself. The person behind the register doesn't actually touch anything now.
うん。
So, probably pretty boring. Stein Japanese. Hi there, a little late. No worries, Stein.
坂
This is the final section and the final question time of the
本
section.
ね。
But thank you for stopping by.
ありがとうございます。
Dashiell Baker has Q time.
オーストラリアの公共交通機関はいいものの、同年代の子がいつもうるさくてやんちゃしている。
そうですか。ああ、まあそうだよね。
どういうこと？電車の中でもう席こんな感じで使ってるってこと？
いや、めっちゃうるさいとかじゃない？
あ、そうか。
Remember New Zealand when we were driving up to... Where were we going? We were going from inside Auckland to like northern Auckland.
オタフじゃない？
Otahu, maybe. And everyone, there was a bunch of guys in the back of the bus with like super loud
確かに
music and just being super
ね、
obnoxious.
スピーカー持ってくるもんね、こ
They had
の
a speaker.
どこどこどんみた
So,
いな。
Speaker, they're blasting music in the back of the bus. No one said anything, of course.
す
And
げ
they're
え
being
と。
very, very rude. I was very
あ、そう
surprised.
なん
Like,
だ。
wow. I'd lived in Japan for way too long. I'd already lived in Japan for like 6 years at that point. So, like,
ね。
experiencing that when I first got to New Zealand was just like, oh, when did carrying around speakers and like boomboxes become popular again? That was unexpected entirely.
でもすごいこんなでかいやつ持ってもこんな
So.
こんなやつね。
But that was like super popular in like the 70s and the 80s.
ああ。
Super popular. But now it's like a thing again, I guess. I don't know.
うーん。
Anyway, Felipe has a good question time as well.
はい。任天堂スイッチセールのゲームは安いものの、時々つまらないゲームです。時々ゲームはつまらないです。だね。
時々ゲームはつまらないです。
そうそう。
Or you might want to say 大体つまらないゲームです。しか or you might want to say 大体つまらないゲームしかない。
いいの、そこは時々にしとこうよ。
あ、まあね。
クリエイターがいるんだから。
そうだね。
うん。
じゃあ、時々ゲームはつまらないです。is what you want to go with there. そうだね。I haven't looked at the Nintendo Switch sales in a while. Sometimes there's some good ones.
ね、つまらないゲームだとボーリングゲームズになっちゃう、ね。
Boring games, yeah. But sometimes the games are boring.
うん。
So, 時々ゲームはつまらないです。
はい。
はい。People are already shouting, running around, blasting music, and a lot of people vape in the bus as well. Wow. I don't feel like that would have gone over well in New Zealand. I feel like people were kind of I used to vape. I don't anymore. But when I was in New Zealand, I did. And people weren't too happy about it if you were doing it around them. So I don't feel like that would have worked out on the bus. はい。
私さ、結構ショックだったことは、そのニュージーランドのさ、ね、電車の中でリンゴをさかじるよね、みんな。それ何？ニュージーランドだけじゃないよね。
それがびっくりしたの？
そう。
リンゴ
さかじってるんだと思って。
うん。そこか。
だって日本でさリンゴかじってる人見たことある？
Myself.
リンゴかじってる人いないんだよ。
She was shocked by people on the train. They were eating apples just like this. That definitely didn't surprise me at all. It surprises me that surprised you.
みんなね、もう日本に来たら注目してみてほしい、それ。
She wants you to pay attention to whether or not people eat, like how they eat apples. Whether or not you'll ever see anyone just going into a full apple.
絶対ね、もうリンゴ持ってる人いない、まず。この丸ごとで。持ってる人いるけど、スーパーの帰りの人は。でもそれをスーパーの帰りにそのまま食べてる人絶対いないと思うから。
そうだね。Probably not. But in any other Western country, you will absolutely see that. Definitely. Anywhere. That's how people eat apples most of the time.
私の
That's how I grew up eating apples.
見せてあげたいね、
Oh
私
yeah,
の
she's very
最速のリンゴさばきを。
ね。Anyway, Malkov Maxim has a Q time.
はい。ノートパソコンは軽くて便利なものの、 電池が小さい。
Oh.
そうだね。
So you wanna
Mm.
bendy is an adjective, so you wanna make sure you have the na particle or de aru between that and mono. So ノートパソコンは軽くて便利なものの電池が小さい. And I'm sure you're saying that battery is small, so it doesn't last very long, is what you want to say, right? Yep. Yeah, good. Just need that na particle in between bendy and mono no.
うん。
Good job, Malkov. All right, David.
はい。デイビッドのやつね。はい。
はい。
地下鉄の駅は小さいもののラッシュアワーに
近いもの。
地下鉄の駅は近いもののラッシュアワーに乗客はいつも多すぎです。
Oh.
なるほどね。
なるほどね。Yep. So the station is close,
うん、
but there's always way too many people there at rush hour.
結構いっぱいあるの地下鉄の駅。あ、普通の駅ないってこと？地下鉄。あ、
関係ある？
地下鉄。まあそうだよね。地下鉄の。わかん日本だ東京だとさ、地上にもいっぱいさ駅があって、
はい、
そこにも地上の駅にいっぱい人待ってんじゃん、地下鉄の駅もいっぱい駅があって、そこも人がいっぱい待ってんじゃん、
はい。
地下鉄が主流なの？
違うかな。この人が言ってるのは自分に近いってこと。自分の家に近いのはいいけど、ラッシュアワーの時には人が多すぎる。近いから。
そういうことか。ごめん。私がミスアンダースタンドなんだ。
近いのはいいけど、
なるほど。
近いからこそめっちゃ人がなんかいつもいるってことだよね。
なるほどね。
周りに。
なるほど。インジェネラルの話かと思っちゃった。
違う。多分自分自身の話。
ごめん。なるほどね。
そう。
意味わかりました。
はい。Good sentence, David.
はい。
Benjamin.
はい。私の猫は可愛いもののとても意地悪です。
Oh no. So Benjamin's cat, although it is very cute, 可愛いものの it's very 意地悪です。It's very ill-tempered or tries to, be mean to people around them, possibly mice. Hello, Poland here. How are you? How's it going, Michael? It is Michael, right? Yeah, Michael. From Poland. Wow. People from all over the place. Unless your name is Poland. But I think you're saying you're from Poland. So sweet. Nice.
そのマイコー P ってことはマイコー from Poland ってこと？
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
Good to meet you, Michael. From Poland.
ようこそ。
People from all over the world. Every time. So cool. All right. That's probably all the question times, I think, yeah? Dashiel, Felipe,
ごめんね、
Malkov, David, Benjamin.
さっきから
Yeah, I
本
think
当
that's
に。
probably it. いや別に大丈夫だよ。はい。All right, so I'm going to pop this up on screen really quick because I'm pretty sure we're at question time. You guys are going to be surprised by this. It's only been an hour, but thumbs up を攻撃してください。
はい、お願いします。
Please smash the thumbs up button. It helps a lot. And also, チャンネル登録お願いします. Please subscribe if you have not already and hit the bell so you know when we go live next time with one of these videos. And that's it. Benjamin says, daylight savings have finally changed, so we are now basically in the same time zone. Whoa, really? Oh, so you have... Okay. Nice. Wait. You have daylight savings down there. 何？私たちが大体同じ時間になったから、デイライトセービングがあったからね。
だけど同じくらいのところにあるお国って何がある？
だから、
縦が一緒ってことでしょ？
そう。いろいろあるじゃん。フィリピンとか、オーストラリアとか、ニュージーランドとか全部近いじゃん。
私は今でもあんまりわからないんですけど、デイライトセービングスってどっちに動いてんの？
Depends on the time of year.
こっち？
Depends on the time of year.
で
In
も
the
さ、
spring it goes up, in the winter it goes down.
どっちが本物なの？
We made it up. Humans made up time, so they're both 本物かな。
あ、なるほど。
Apparently in America they canceled it though. They're gonna stop doing it.
うーん
So now it's 13 hours behind in like New Jersey, my
うんうん
hometown, forever. They're never gonna go back. They're not gonna do daylight savings anymore,
Oh.
apparently. But I think in places like Australia, yeah, I live near Adelaide, so it's GMT 30 minutes difference. Wow, that's so random. 30 minutes,
そんなことある ?30 minutes とかあるの
9.5 hours. I know I've heard of that before, but I never really thought about it much. But that's pretty crazy. So it's 10:36 over there. That's cool. All
へ
right.
え。
That's got to be super doing that math every single time. I'm sure you get used to it, but they changed it there too. Okay, nice.
それさ、昨日から変わったのあ、違う。4月1日から
So, come on, it.
みんなさ、4月1日どう、
ん
?3 月31日は短いってこと
そうってなる。睡眠時間が短くなるってこと
じゃ
だね。
あ大変だね。
Just the first couple days.
へ
あ
え。
Felipe has a cue time.
はい。
We can catch that quick.
チリ人に生まれたものの、チリのスラングを理解するのは難しい。
Oh, nice.
そうなん
Good sentence.
だ。
So you just want to change the チリ、生まれた、チリ人、excuse me, チリ人に生まれたものの、
うんうん。
everything else is fine. So even though I was born Chilean, Chilean slang is difficult to understand. Good sentence. Nice. It's 9:07 a.m. here.
あ、
Oh yeah,
早い
okay. So you're on the
早い
East
よ
Coast. You're on the East Coast of the States. Yeah. It was a pain in the neck when, like, trying to contact family when it's the other, winter
Yeah.
time. It's a 14 hours difference. It would be 8:07 in the morning right now, and we're finishing the lessons. So, not many people are making it from that side of the country. Although even 9:07 a.m. on a Sunday is pretty early in the morning, I imagine, for most people. But anyway.
そっか、今日曜日始まったんだ。
そうだよ。
いいな
そうだね。
ぁ。うん。
まあ、そうだね。
お休みだよね、今日だって。
Of course. But we weren't.
まあそうだ。
If it was Saturday morning, then I'd be a little more jealous.
まあそうだね。
We took Friday and Saturday off this past week, so it's nice though. It's the first time in a very, very long time we've been able to take 2 actual days off in a week. We haven't actually had 2 days off in in like 2 years until recently.
うん。
最近までね。
2週間ぐらい前にあったよね。
Oh yeah, no, I
二日お休みの
mean recently, ね。
あ、そうだ。
Recently, until recently, we didn't really take 2 days off in a row very often, unfortunately. We finally can a little bit, thanks to you guys. So thank you so much.
ありがとうございます。
All right, guys.
そう
Well, tonight was short, but we got through it. We finished lesson 10. There's 2
Yeah.
lessons left in Quartet, which means there's 8 live streams left until we're finished with Quartet 1 and 2. Both of them. Finished with all of Genki, all of Quartet, which means we're finished with up until N2 content. Pretty crazy to think about. But anyway, yeah, 8 lessons left. Next week, there will be no live stream because next week is the week we release the Genki content on the website. So we do the 4 in the row for the lesson. Then we take a week off to get that Genki stuff out for the website. And then we do 4 more streams in a row from the following week. So hopefully we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
はい。
All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight.
ありがとうございまし
It was a
た。
short one, but we had fun.
みんなもね、昆布食べてください。
Did anyone look that up? Whether seaweed actually makes your hair darker? If so, I'm definitely never eating it.
だからなの？
だから何？
だから黒くならないの？
そんなバカな。
違うでしょ？
そんなバカな。そんなことあるかな。
それじゃあ超ヘアダイ簡単になっちゃうよね。
When I was a baby, my aunt just posted baby pictures of me on Facebook.
キラッキラだもんね、だって。
She just posted them. There it is. Let's take a look at baby Andy. Well, baby Andy also. This you can't see my hair. There's baby Andy.
かわいいじ
I
ゃ
look
ん。
Japanese. There's baby Andy.
おー。
Blonde.
ねえ。
I wish my hair was still that color. Oops.
惜しい。
Anyway. It is not. It changed at some point. Anyway, Google first result.
あ、調べてくれたんだ。
Whoa. And stronger. Yay. But sadly, there's no proof that it actually makes your hair stay blacker at the same time. Of course.
じゃあ嘘なんだ。
そうだよね。 Thank you, Felipe. I figured.
もう
There's a
わ
lot
か
of
め入れ
that
ない
stuff
こ
over
とに
here.
しよ
わかめ。
う。まあ食べて
その
ないけど
ために入
ね。
れてるんだ。
まあ食べてないけどね、あんまりわかめ。
There's a lot of superstitions over here that are still very strong because they're promoted on TV like as fact. Like they'll have like a little infomercials and stuff promoting these like old superstitions, and a lot of them are still believed over here. So it can be fun to pick those things out and be like, wait a second, that doesn't sound right. I don't know if that's right or not. Yuki doesn't have too many of them left. I usually end up destroying those for her.
ひどいよね。
Sorry.
あでもさ、ほら、デビットが言ってくれてる。
利尻昆布 hair color treatment. Oh, nice.
それ本当にあるやつだよね。利尻ってさ、北海道のとこだよね。
But I don't think eating it makes your hair stay darker, does it? I heard from my girlfriend about stung by a bee twice. The killer bees here, where you get stung twice, and then apparently, if the second time you die.
アナフィラキシーショックね。
そう。
私もそれずっと信じてたんだけど。
I was never sure with the giant killer bees here. I was never sure if that one was true or not. I never looked that one up. But it makes sense if you say it, that like maybe it's not completely true. It's something you rub in your hair. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
おー
If you rub it in your hair instead of eating it.
食べても意味ないんだ。
ね。確か
そうなん
にそうだ。
だ。
残念ながら。
そうなんだ。はい、みんなありがとう。
勉強になりました。ありがとうございます。
私のステレオタイプをぶち壊してくれてありがとう。
ステレオタイプじゃなくて、
まあ
スーパースティション。
そうだね、スーパーステーションか。
はい。
ガーン。ちょっとショック。
Superstition. I don't know if that would be called a superstition. What would that be? Pseudoscience? Something like that.
うん。
I don't know.
迷信。
迷信
うん。
かな、迷信にはなるのかなそれ。
じゃないのかな。なんか。
なんだろう。But probably comes from a long time ago. Like that. Yeah. 迷信, I guess, works. Which would be superstition.
うん。
All right, guys. Well,
Hi.
that is it from us tonight. I hope you have a great week, and we hope to see you in 2 weeks when we're back with lesson 11. If you're on the website, new Genki material, bonus grammar sentences videos, lesson 19 will be coming out next weekend. So thank you for hanging out, and thank you for all your support. And yeah,
ありがとうございま
it
す。
was fun. All right. Have a good Sunday, everyone,
はい。
or a rest of your night, and we will see you in the next one.
ね。
はい
あ、来週はないのか。
So, not next week, in 2 weeks.
OK。はい。
はい。ありがとうございました。
はい
See you
またね
everyone. お疲れ様でした。
Planning to use these books to learn Japanese in 2022?
We explain all the grammar from these books and more here on YouTube in detail. And on ToKiniAndy.com, we have tons of extra grammar explanations, interactive practice exercises with Yuki and I, native shadowing exercises so you can get practice speaking even when you're by yourself, tests, and even progress bars to track your progress through the book. We also plan on beginning to add tons of level-appropriate immersion material throughout 2022. We even have a new exclusive community for members where they can ask questions, help each other, and even play silly Japanese word games. Over 1,800 people have already utilized the ToKini Andy and Yuki premium content. Join the community today and kickstart your Japanese learning journey.